1, 2, 3, 4.
The first tour in the United States, '79, and I never heard about tornado twister, you know, kind of thing. And I'm sitting around watching TV, you know, and somehow I hear this warning, you know, here a tornado comes in, and you know, be careful and stuff, you know. And somehow I got into this kind of heavy kind of things, you know. I played something. And somehow things came together. You know, the best way I found out by composing is if you don't think, everything comes by itself. If you want to do something really, then you're getting something, but it's a little bit like, you know, not 100% natural flowing. And this was natural flowing. And next thing, I came to Klaus, was singing to him the song and so. And one day before, or 2 days, we went to the zoo here, 42nd Street. And somehow he immediately got the idea, oh, it would be perfect for this song. So in this case, he wrote the lyrics for the zoo. And the next thing was, when we played it to our producer in these days, Dieter Dirks, he said, you know, I think it would be fantastic if because I have to go to New York too, I go to the 42nd Street and maybe record the atmosphere there for the fade out and stuff. So, and he went with his recorder, in the old days, old tape recorder, recording. And, you know, and there some people came to him and said, hey, man, I want trucks and so. And it's on the album. So, okay, that's the situation. And then the voice box came in to make it, then it's his story.
Give it that creepy feeling, you know. That's, yeah. I always was interested in the voice box. And we recorded that at the end of '79, early 1980.
No, this was end of '79, coming from the first American tour back.
Yeah, so it's early '80, and so I checked out that voice box, and that was the perfect song because of that, you know, the creepiness to it, and yeah, so it became like a signature song for us.
All of the countries was a big thing, especially in these days. America was very much affecting the rest of the world, either England or America. And we noticed, especially because the story of Klaus losing his voice. And then he made it. And then the album came with No One Like You, the biggest, most played song in American radio. Everything affected. We had a very good management in these days. With Leber Crepes, the biggest one, and they're really forced things also outside of America, and we noticed really, like touring-wise, like in France and Europe, everywhere we had like full house, and the cover, everything was very much synergy. The music, the cover, everything. Already we were building a vibe like the upcoming band with Love Drive and with Magnetism. In this case, this was the first step into the really high-class rock and roll sign of thing. And also we noticed by our colleagues like Judas Priest and some other bands that their favorite album became in the top 10 Blackout. And I think was a very very good feeling for us, especially coming from Germany.
I come in like this. And that's the harmony.
To make the energy, power, the rhythm, to give the kind of attitude kind of thing to push the whole thing to make it very powerful. Me, it's different to him. I don't analyze the things. You know, I do something where it's working. It's working. You know, and I have it in because it's coming from me. I don't have to analyze because when I have to play it again, I know. Aha. Sometimes often I forget what I did when we want to play a song again from the old days, and then I really have to go into it. And then after a while, it's coming back, and then I'm into it again. Because sometimes you. Changing from the 70s to the 80s, and you're changing your way of doing things by even don't notice, because it's going slowly. It's a slow process.
When we played it for the first time in the rehearsal room, it had a different title then, a working title. It wasn't called No One Like You, but it was the same thing. I felt like, wow, this is something, it is so catchy and so clear and so inspirational, because the beginning it was only the chords. And there was nothing else. So I had to come up with that intro melody, and you can always tell if there's some inspiration in a song, then you come up with a better ideas. So you could say simply, the better the song, the better the playing on top of it.
But also the record company didn't notice that will be so big because there wasn't a single out. In this case, that was the reason then maybe the Leppard, when they came with their stuff, they came out with singles in this way. You know, nobody believed that this kind of song can be maybe go in a top 100 or something like this. In this case, we had the most played song, but not with we had no single out.
I just
second
start
time,
out
right?
the second half with the harmony I've
Right.
been playing. It's
Right.
it's played it's like a double lead, it's a harmony lead, but live I have to compromise. I only have two hands and one guitar, but we make it even sound better because the front of the house mixer, he adds like a major third through his harmonizer for this one spot, and makes people think it's two guitars they're hearing. So that's the compromise of doing like harmony in harmony leads.
Rocked Like a Hurricane, it was really the connection of, this Rock You Like a Hurricane is a very kind of way, if you don't have the lyrics, which has the double meaning and the kind of sexual vibe, where the bitch is hungry, she needs to tell, give inches of fear. Well, this double meaning kind of thing. I remember that Klaus and Herman, they came around 7 or 8, 9 times to Dieter Dirks, the producer, with a new lyrics kind of concept, and always, but when they came the 9th time, and we heard the lyrics come to the hook, we said immediately, yes, that's the one. Because everything fits perfectly, and the song is now, like Carlos Santana, when I met him lately in Germany, he said, this Rock You Like a Hurricane becomes an anthem. Because many people using it now in the film Knocked Up, it's now in it, and it's fantastic. And the good thing about the whole thing was also that the effect in the verse after the solo, which the snare backwards, that was an idea from John Bon Jovi's uncle.
Tony Bon Jovi.
Yeah, he was in the power station mixing, and we somehow said, because we said to Dieter, it would be great to have a different mixer, but he was very into it to mix it by himself. But we forced him so much that we were sending Rock You Like a Hurricane to New York, and then we got the result back, and there was this backward snare, which we said, hey, that's a great idea. So, and then he mixed it again, or we mixed it again, because there were some mistakes in it, stuff like this, and then the whole thing
Yeah, it's because it has like a third verse. We used to have third verses like after an instrumental part many times at the time. Today, for some reason, nobody does it anymore. Songs have to be like, you know, under 4 minutes, hopefully, and stuff like that. And so a third verse needs a different arrangement. And usually after like a solo instrumental part in the middle, usually in our bands, usually guitar solo, you have to like, in dynamic wise, bring it all the way down. And that's why we didn't have the same guitar arrangement. So we had to do something with the drums. So it was just drums, bass, and vocals. So that's where the effect came from, because it needed some extra effect.